Shalom Akim, my name's Kal. I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, double honors to our elders who rule Great Millstone Wow, and Shalom to all you Akim putting this truth with sincerity throughout the whole earth. May you brothers endure to the end. Shalom. This movie, Knowing, it's a real good movie. It's kind of a little bit old, but it was produced in March 22. The release date was March 20th, 2009. Has Nicolas Cage, Rose Byrne, Chandler Kattenberry, Ben Mendelsohn. But this movie, Knowing, it's a real good movie. It's kind of old, but I recommend you guys rewatch it if you have seen it. And if you haven't, I recommend you watch it. And you get a little plot, just to let you know. Because it has a lot of truth in it. Within the movie, there has a lot of truth about how the prophets get messages, how the people react to the prophets, that end times, how it's going to be burnt with fire. But it says here, in 1959, student Lucinda, which means light, Ambrier, hears whispers as she stares at the sun. When her idea to make a time capsule is chosen by the school, each child is to draw what they believe the future will be like. Lucinda writes a page of seemingly random numbers and adds it to the time capsule, which is set to be opened in 50 years. Lucinda's teacher, Miss Taylor, calls for the pupils to finish, but Lucinda continues until her teacher takes the page off her desk unfinished. Lucinda then goes missing after the time capsule is dedicated, and is found by her teacher in a utility closet, scratching numbers into the door with her fingernails bleeding. Okay, so then I'm going to read. Right here. In 2009, Caleb Kostler is a student at the same elementary school when the time capsule is opened. Caleb is supposed to read and write about some of the capsule's contents. He's given the page of numbers written by Lucinda, his widowed father, John, which is Nicolas Cage, a professor of astrophysics at MIT. Notice that the numbers have a specific set of sequences, with some digits referring to the dates and death tolls of major disasters over the last 50 years, including 9/11, 9/11/01/2996, apparently representing the date 9/11/2001, and death toll 2,906 of the 9/11 attacks. The last three digits on the page are dated in the immediate future. Okay, so now I'm right here. This next thing, there's a lot of biblical truth in this movie that's hidden inside of the chaos of Hollywood. In the following days, a car drives by the family home with two strangers. They give Caleb a small, smooth black stone. Okay, and like what I mean by the Hollywood bullcrap is, like in the movie, the angels are tall ass white, so-called white, with blonde hair, like leopards, which we know now through the scriptures, through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, that there are very large so-called black men on the so-called UFO, the chariots of the Most High. This is Revelation 2:17. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the hidden manna, and will give him a white stone, and in the stone a new name written, which no man knoweth, saving he that receiveth it. And in this movie, they actually hand out black stones. Right here, I'm going to read this again. In the following days, a car drives by the family with two strangers. They give Caleb a small, smooth black stone. John witnesses a plane crash on a freeway on the day that the paper had predicted that a disaster would occur next. So he's prophesying. He tries to save several victims, but in vain. He then learns that the remaining unexplained digits on the paper are the geographic coordinates of the location of each disaster predicted on the paper. Caleb then has a vision of one of the strangers in his bedroom. He then looks through a window and sees forests outside his room ablaze with animals running from the fire. So they're having visions. They start prophesying, and also the prophecies are coming true, like the plane crash, things like that. Okay, and this image, they have this image of it's supposed to be of Ezekiel's chariot vision, was produced in 1670, I believe. They had this image, and the girl in the movie colors the sun behind that man, and she says, "It's the sun." And who's bringing that fire? It's Yahushai. That's how I say you got to be able to see through this with a spiritual eye, so that you could understand what is being put, because Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is the people that he had these people build this movie, create this movie, make this movie, produce this movie. And right now, it's kind of spiritual, because just recently I've been catching a bunch of numbers that stand out to me, like 44, 444, which I've been looking up the scriptures, and it's all about the Acts. The book of Acts is the 44th. Let me get that, just for edification. So, like I said, I've been dealing with the number 44. I see that all the time. And so I found out through the Spirit that the book of Acts is the 44th book. So I went to the 4th chapter, and the 4th verse. And I'm going to jump up 2 verses just so we can get a better understanding of what the 4th verse means. And it says, this is Acts 4:2, being grieved that they taught the people, and I'm going to start with 1. Slakia. Acts 4 verse 1, and as they spake unto the people, the priests and the captain of the temple, and the Sadducees, and the Sadducees, Salaki if I ain't pronouncing that right, came upon them, being grieved that they taught the people and preached through Yahushai the resurrection from the dead. And they laid hands on them and put them in hold until the next day, for it was now eventide. Howbeit, and howbeit means however, many of them which heard the word believed, and the number of the men was about 5,000. See, and then 5,000, number 5 meaning grace. All right, and it's talking about the apostles, and they went out to teach. See what I'm saying? It's prophecy. I'm gonna get this. Okay, so it says, let's see. Okay, so it says, after hearing about the events that happened, so far she becomes apprehensive and scared. John then gives up his son to his sister. Soon afterwards, a major derailment occurs on the New York City subway, which John fails to prevent. Diana then believes John and visits him. She says that her mother used to hear voices, and that the next and also last date in the document, October 19th, was the day Lucinda always said Diana would die, meaning her own daughter. All right? But see how the woman, and she's a Jake woman, I believe, that plays that part. But she has to see it to believe. She had to see the destruction to believe that he was being honest. And that's what's gonna have to be for the women in our nation, so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American women. They're gonna have to see the destruction to believe. And Esau knows that, so he's gonna take advantage of that. Searching Lucinda's mobile home, they find pictures of the disasters she predicted, a copy of Matthias Meridian's engraving of Ezekiel's chariot vision, and a pile of smooth stones near Lucinda's bed. The last number in the document appears at first to be 33. And 33, if you heard about the Illuminati, the Freemasons, the 33rd Freemason degree, 33rd degree Freemason. But also remember that Yahushua was crucified at 33. But they noticed that it is really EE written backwards. And they figure out that EE means everyone else, meaning everyone else, the whole earth is going to be put to death. October 19th. Representing the extinction level event, which no one will escape from, right? Because when Yahushua comes, he's coming with fire, and ain't nobody's gonna escape. It don't matter how far you dig down in the mountains. And that's what's funny in this movie. The lady says, let's go into the caves, and he's like, all right. And he blows her off and says, we're not going to the caves. The heat will go a mile down into the earth. And that's exactly what's gonna happen when these nukes hit this earth. That fire is going to be so hot, it's going to burn feet. Who knows how far down into the earth. So it doesn't matter if you are in a cave, in a bunker, you still can't hide from it. It says, John gets a sudden revelation, and he realizes that this could be how the world will end. He rushes them to the MIT observatory, where he discovers that a massive solar flare will soon reach Earth, making it uninhabitable. John and Diana argue over what is best to do to prepare for the incoming solar flare. After the argument, Diana leaves with both children. As Diana stops at a nearby gas station, an emergency broadcast is transmitted to alert the world of the solar flare. So I'm going to jump down a little more so we can get back to it. And it says, so I'm going to start reading from there. Caleb and Abby are disposed by the beings. Let me see what that is. Slovakia. Deposited, put or set down in a specific place, typically unceremoniously. Okay. So Caleb and Abby are deposited by the beings on the Earth-like planet in the final scene, which is supposed to be the kingdom. And the Earth-like beings are supposed to be the beings that take them are supposed to be the aliens. I mean, not the aliens, the angels. Salakia. Of an Earth-like planet in the final scene, which is the final scene of the Bible. Okay? And the final scene is the kingdom of heaven reigning on this earth. In the final scene, they are seen running through a beautiful field of wheat towards a giant white tree, which resembles the tree of life. This is Revelation 22:7. Behold, I come quickly. Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecy of this book. And that's what we're to do. With all the struggles that come, you are to keep this faith as to the best of your ability. It says, Revelation 22, verse 13, I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. For without are dogs, and sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. Check out the movie, brothers. Even if you saw it once, check it out again. Shalom. Yahweh Bashem Yashai. Brakatah to all you Akim, pushing this truth with sincerity. And may you brothers endure to the end. Shalom.